On the 18th day of aircraft, we have not an aircraft, but a Soyuz-FG. Which, yeah, I made a Soyuz. I mean, that's all there is to say really about it. I tried to make it as accurate as possible, so it has the correct number of engines clustered in the correct formation, and it has a fairly correct central core stage, as well as our second stage, with these engines being clipped in a way that I'm not entirely certain is correct, but looks right to me, and I like it. And we have the fairing on top, much as you might expect, as well as our service module, orbital module, and our I forgot what you call this, the space orbital module. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. This fairing expansion, let me turn that off. Okay, there you go. So you can see properly that this fairing is used to create the aesthetic here. It's a little harder to see when it's surrounded by this other one. Orbit configuration deployment, AC1. So I'm going to do that. Oh yes, I should also demonstrate the abort system, because it does have a functional abort system, of course. So of course, for our first demonstration, we shall have an abort sequence, because everything went wrong, and I did the stupidest thing I could have possibly done. I hit the abort sequence and abort stage 2 immediately after each other, which is not at all how you're supposed to do it. But as you can see, the descent module comes down nice and safely despite my massive fuck up. Now, it just occurred to me that I could also demonstrate a pad abort, which, as you can see, works quite like you'd expect it to. You can see that very quickly the craft is pulled away with the service module and the main module, or the orbital module, but then those are quickly jettisoned, and ironically, it looks like our orbit module survived that jettison. I mean, it is heavily dented, but otherwise okay. You may or may not hear a dog barking. I apologize for that. But it is as out of control for me as the snow outside. And as you can see, we have a nice normal liftoff. I'm actually going to do something rather dumb, probably, and time warp us up. Oh dear. Wobbly rocket syndrome. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. Just give it a moment to sort itself out. You can see it's fairly stable, so I can regain control. And what I'm doing that for at this particular moment, I'm not actually intending to fly this into space proper, but I am doing a demonstration of the abort sequence at maximum dynamic pressure. I don't know exactly when maximum dynamic pressure is. I didn't exactly test that, but I'm going to guess it's somewhere around here, because if I wait much longer, we're getting into very thin atmosphere. So you can see, again, pulls us away quite easily. I probably shouldn't hit 0 so quickly, because now our parachute is slowing us down going up, and if you're going too close to straight vertical with a parachute deployed, what can happen is you will hit 0 meters per second in midair, and the parachute will fail to continue to save your life. Fail to continue to save your life. I mean, that is an accurate way to describe it. It's just not a way I thought I would describe it. But as you can see, the eject system works quite as expected. And now for a full demonstration of launch to orbit. Korolev Cross. An excellent choice. Now let's take a look at how we're doing on orbit progress. Apopsis is very high, and our trajectory is quite steep, so I'm going to go ahead and pitch us over further. It is a little bit hard to fly, but a beaut nonetheless. Might have actually needed to be steeper with this trajectory, but oh well. Hello, controllability? Come back? Why do we have 0 control? Is it atmospheric? No. What the hell? Why do we suddenly have 0 control? Maybe I need RCS enabled. I seriously have not had this issue before. This is very interesting. I do not know why this is occurring. This definitely should not be occurring. Okay, fuck that. Gonna try to regain control with the orbital modules systems. Not that that will do us much good at this point because we are so close to falling back and we have a extremely low thrust to weight ratio. However, I will get to demonstrate you that on orbit, these dishes on the front fold out for our docking alignment, or, you know, in KSP, their communications really, and you can see that we have satellites, which are beautiful. And now I'm going to do something rather dumb, and I'm going to pitch us violently. Not that violently, but a little bit violently. And turn off the rocket, destage the orbital module, then destage the service module, and now we have ballistic re-entry, because this has no controls on it whatsoever, other than to activate the parachute, of course. And looks like we're coming down relatively near some things that I'm going to show you in a future video. Those 3 indicators down there in the ocean are part of a very special project that I have only just completed recently, and I'm very excited to demonstrate at a future time. I think these are just planes. Z262 and a Mirage 3C. So you've seen both of those before. Sorry for the abysmal launch, but I'm really not feeling up to doing it again today. Just trust me, if you flew it better, probably with a steeper trajectory considering how badly it handled transitioning to the second stage, it would work just fine. Basically, be a better pilot than me. Do as I say, not as I do. Actually, that's not accurate either, because I say to do some pretty stupid things sometimes, but have a good day.